Man, let me get on up in here, man. What's up, fight fans? Early stream today, you know what I'm saying? Spontaneous one. That's how we get down over here, though. Salute to you all, man. It is the homie, Mainman Mademan in the building. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Yes, sir, fight fans. Coming on through for early, just drop a cool gem, you know what I'm saying? Couple jewels. Come on through here early, man, and talk some of this real spill, man. Y'all know how it is, man. I want everybody to do the homie a favor. Salute to everyone that catches this live. Salute to everyone that catches this on the playback. I want to say thumbs up as you pull up. You already know, fight fans. Hit that thumbs up as you pull up. Salute to the homie, man. First man in our house. My main man, 100 grand, is up in here. Trap House Boxing. I see you, champ. Always dropping that real, man. Salute to the homie Trap House, man. Hope all is well, my G. Thanks for rocking out with me off an early one today, man. You know what I'm talking about? Man, fight fans. So I just wanted to come through. I got a few extra minutes. I'm literally, so if it sounds like I have an echo in the back, I'm literally sitting in one of my transport trucks, waiting on a huge order to be dropped off to me, man. So I'm just sitting here waiting. Turns out I'm a bit early, so I got a few extra minutes, and I'm just sitting here looking at the pretty trees. You know what I'm saying? So how about I get on here and drop some real spill, shall we? Now I wanna talk about my main man Gervonta Tank Davis. It's been a minute, fight fans, and I was just saying this last night, how, like, dog, all of this tank talk and all of this stuff, all of this fluff shit, but I literally have not sat down and lasered in on Gervonta Tank Davis in quite some time. It's really been a minute. And I just been waiting on a, I guess, specific time, fight fans, to really want to talk about Gervonta Davis. I guess you can say I wanted to wait till the time got real. I wanted to wait till we get into a point of some rubber meat in the road. I wanted to get to a point where we're not talking about Isaac Pitbull Cruz, fight fans. I wanted to get to the real shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you straight like this, as I always do to protect myself. This is just speculation. You know what I mean? Consider this just speculation right here, fight fans. Things maybe I've heard, maybe I didn't hear, just a gut feeling, whatever you might want to call it. All right? Just call it that. But I think that we get into the point with Tank Davis that the heat is about to get turned up. And I'm hoping that we're going to go into a direction where the inside of the ring catches up with the outside of the ring. Because outside of the ring, the man is a star. The man is a star, fight fans. And everybody wants to be a star. Everybody wants to be a Tank. But they just can't. You can't replicate it. You can't duplicate it, fight fans. Authenticity is everything. You could try to dress like a bad boy. You could try to talk like a bad boy and walk like a bad boy. But for those who are really cut from that cloth, for those who come from that side of the tracks, they were people fraud coming from a mile away. And so with Tank Davis, the reason why his support is so massive and it's baffling to so many folks that say, well, he hasn't fought better guys than this guy or that guy or this guy. It's because there are so many rooting for the story of Gervonta Davis. Even the folks who are not from his side of the tracks, who may come from the good life, who was born with the silver spoons, they look at Tank and say, oh, he's just so cool, though. It's quite cool. All the kids dig it. All of the chicks dig him. I want to do it like Tank do it. So he's attracting those who admire him from the silver spoon side, and of course those who resonate with him from the hood side. And that's what makes up Gervonta Davis's massive fan base. That's why his fans look beyond and past some of the things that us traditional boxing fans sit down and say, hey, this ain't adding up. They look beyond that and they say, nah, it may not be adding up today, main man, but it will add up tomorrow. It may not add up tomorrow, main man, but give them another week and it'll add up. I believe in Tank. That's how they feel. Not to mention the hype machine that goes along with Gervonta Davis, which is very impressive. What are you talking about, man? How is this hype machine impressive? Because he has Floyd Mayweather. Or he had Floyd Mayweather. And y'all can discount that and say, well, it's all Tank. That's bullshit. This is all Floyd. This is the power of Floyd. Look at what it's doing for Carmel Moten. This kid getting more spins and talked about than people who've been in the game for years, and he only got one fight. Why? Because he's attached to Floyd. Do you not see the pattern with that shit? It's all love, Crap House. It's all love, champ. Hey man, I understand, man. Life happens, bro. You know what I'm saying? All love. I thank you for coming on through, man, for the few minutes you did, bro. Real spill, man. Real spill. Salute to the homie G Lex up in here. What up with you, man? Chilling, man. Chilling. My homie JP Mendez is on deck. Fam in our house. What's up, man? Hit that thumbs up, main man. Salute, brother. That 3-eye episode was fire. Yeah, man. Salute to the homie I Am the One Boxing for coming on through, being a great antagonist, man. He is more than welcome to come back anytime, man. I really enjoyed that conversation myself. I love when someone gets on here. That's why I always tell y'all, fight fans, you ain't got to agree with me. We ain't got to be in agreements, and we still gonna be cool. And you gonna get up on here and tell me why your guy can beat my guy. That's what I want to hear. Stand 10 toes down. Don't be like Spence Nation and run away from this shit and come back with all kind of crap. No, stand behind your guy. But back to Gervonta Davis. But that's why I think that his fan base is so massive. Floyd Mayweather has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? His power is real, bro. There's no other fighter has been able to give this kind of spotlight or this kind of push to any of their fighters. I don't care who you're thinking about. Whether it's Andre Ward, whether it's Roy Jones, whether it's any of these guys, Bernard Hopkins standing behind a fighter, it doesn't matter. Oscar, when Floyd touches something, man, that shit took off. And you can see it for Carmel Moten. So let's keep on pushing. So my thing is this. I think that Gervonta Tank Davis is going down a pretty good path. And I do believe that next year is going to be a real telling year in the story of Gervonta Davis. I know there's rumors flying left and right about his next fight and who could it be or who could it not be. When is it going to happen? When it's not going to happen? I see that Gervonta recently just let out some training videos of him hitting some mitts, which is all good. So it looked like he may be possibly gearing up for a fight. I hear dates floating around, rumors, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to tell you something, man. And once again, call it a gut feeling, call it a hunch, call it whatever you want. I think that Gervonta Tank Davis's next fight is going to be a championship fight. I think he's going for a belt in his next fight at 140 pounds. I do not think it's Shakur. I do not think it's Devin. I do not think it's Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I do not think it's Vasil Lomachenko. All of those do not check the boxes that Tank needs to be checked. None of those fighters check them. I believe that, in my opinion, that Gervonta Davis's next fight will be Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias is gearing up for a mandatory title defense of his IBF 140-pound belt. His next fight was one promoter Tom Brown put in the bid to win Subriel Matias's next fight, which is going to be against this guy named Ergashev, right? Ergashev is a southpaw, fight fans. It's the perfect fight to get Subriel Matias prepared for the southpaw known as Gervonta Tank Davis. Subriel Mateus is a very beatable opponent for Gervonta Tank Davis. Subriel Mateus comes in there, throws punches and bunches. His defense takes a major hit. He walks forward. He likes these back and forth, rock'em sock'em robot kind of fights that caters and falls right into the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis. Subriel Mateus is a free agent for the most part. He's promoted by Dimitri Salita, if I'm not mistaken. He's promoted by Dimitri Salita, which basically makes him a free player to go any and everywhere. And I think that when it comes to ratings of the fight, or when you throw the two styles into a blender and what kind of fight you think you're going to get, action-packed fight, fans, somebody going to sleep. I believe that the way that Subriel Mateus fights, punches and bunches, lack of defense, wants the confrontation, very aggressive, wants to fight. Gervonta Davis is a dynamic counterpuncher with an uppercut from the bottom of B-more. I believe that when you throw those two styles into a blender, you got a action-packed fight. Main man, why do you not think it's going to be Isaac Pitbull Cruz? Mainly because if you paid attention to the WBO convention that just went down a few weeks ago, right? The one that named Bud Crawford as the 54 mandatory and so on and so forth. If you actually listen to when they spoke about the 135-pound division, they were discussing their WBO mandatory situation there, in which Sean Gibbons, the promoter of Isaac Pitbull Cruz, stepped up and says, no, we're not held down to nothing. They were wondering, was Isaac Pitbull Cruz free to maybe be chosen if certain things line up to be possibly involved into a WBO Mando? And Sean Gibbons at that particular convention stood up and said that though there are talks and stuff like that going back and forth and articles in the media, he says that there is nothing concrete and we are available for a fight. Those are the words of Sean Gibbons, Isaac Pitbull Cruz's promoter. We are available for a fight. Well, if they're trying to, and I know you may say, well, man, they just kind of keep their options open with the WBO, perhaps. Granted. But at the end of the day, I would have think that they would, and he did say that he would get back with the WBO in a couple weeks if something more concrete comes out. He did mention that. But at the time of that convention, there was nothing going on between Pitbull Cruz and Gervonta Tank Davis. And I want people to understand what I honestly believe that is that Tank and his machine that's behind him are very, very good at keeping his name hot. It's the old Floyd syndrome. They know who to attach his name to. I don't think he's fighting Isaac Cruz, but he would still love his name mentioned amongst the Isaac Cruz fan bases. This whole Devin and Prograis shit, Tank is going to have his name flooded all through that as well. We just seen Bud Crawford do the same thing with Jamel Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, where he infused his name into that situation, forcing people to say his name over and over and over and over and over again. It's a beautiful strategy. But Bud Crawford knows that he's a few fights away from the Canelo Alvarez fight. At very best, at the very least. He knows that. But he knows I'm going to talk this talk because guess what? It's the greatest promo that I can ever buy. And reporters were forced to ask Canelo and forced to ask Charlo about Terrence Crawford. And it's the same thing that Tank is playing now. And I actually welcome the fight with Subriel Mateus. I love this fight. It's a real live dog, a real live champion. And I believe that Gervonta Davis, after the long layoff that he's currently taking, fight fans, well, not too long, but the layoff that he's in the middle of, I don't think that he's going to be coming back to 35. I think that the PBC have good working relationships with the IBF. Now, Tank, you may say, well, man, a belt don't make Tank. Correct me if I'm wrong. Gervonta Davis's first world title was the IBF. His very first belt that he took from Pedraza was the IBF. Don't say that he's not in the business with the IBF. You may say, yo, main man, look at the rankings and so on and so. I don't give a shit when it comes to Gervonta Davis and rankings. It don't matter. They'll put him somewhere. They'll find him something. They'll figure out a way. They'll go to a loophole in their bylaws or whatever the case may be. They'll find Gervonta Davis a way to get into that fight. And I believe PBC will have total control of that entire situation. You look at this. Subriel Mateus is the upcoming fight with Ergashev. He's scheduled to make only $300,000. The whole situation was won by Tom Brown for $500,000, and they're paying Subriel Mateus, who is the champion, who gets the lion's share of the purse, $300,000. That's a cheap champion. That's a cheap champion, man. This man is checking all boxes. He's action-packed. He has a world title. He will be definitely accepted. It will make Gervonta Davis, he will get the praise that he deserves. He's a very beatable opponent. He's cheap. He's under the umbrella. He doesn't come with a lot of political strings. And it all makes sense. I believe that that's what we get next year from Gervonta Davis. And I thoroughly believe that Shakur Stevenson will be taking on Vasyl Lomachenko sometime next year. That's how I think that works out. But I will be so happy, man, for Gervonta Davis if we get this, because then, you know, the criticism will have to just start to go mute. I mean, this is he will literally take a belt. If he does this fight, he would take a belt off the waist of a sitting world champion. And the cool thing about all of this is that Subriel Mateus is currently facing the IBF Mando. So if his next fight is against Tank, Tank ain't got to worry about the Mando. I'm telling y'all, Joe. I thoroughly believe and it's the only opponent left on the scene with less political attachments that Tank would get the credit for. He knows, and his team knows, that no, we won't get no credit for these out Pitbull Cruz. And who the hell they gonna sell that to without a network right now? If they even trying to push something out there and you push that, people gonna look at that and say, yo, we don't want that shit. Yeah, you may get a couple 100,000 buys or whatever, but dog, that's not what people are going to be looking for. But could Al and PBC go to a network and say, look, man, we got the IBF 140 champion going up against Tank. Tank moving up in weight, going up there with Devin in there and Teo and them. Going up there with Devin and Teo and them, and then going in there to get a belt. Making him another divisional champion, even if you don't want to consider the Mario Barrios fight a actual world championship at 140, then fine. Then he gets the IBF. He checks that box. I love that fight. Let's see what Subriel Mateus, of course, looks like versus this dude, Ergashev. I'm not too familiar with Ergashev. I'm not going to act like I don't. I got to do my homework on him. I got to do my homework on Ergashev, but if he gets through Ergashev, there's no reason why that fight ain't set up for sometime next year. Real spill. It makes perfect sense. It just does, dog. The Devin situation ain't gonna happen. He's over there with DAZN. That's a third rail. That takes that fight totally off the table. Now you may say, yo, main man, well, he can move here and he can move there, then call Al. Until I see Devin walk over there with PBC, that fight is never on the table. Same with Shakur. It's not going to happen. Same with Lomachenko. Bob would never let that happen. Not when you got Shakur who needs an opponent. Not when you got Shakur who needs a fight and needs a name. It won't happen, champions. And the only thing after the process of elimination, in my opinion, will be Subriel Mateus. Salute to the fam that's coming on through, man. Yo, everybody hit that thumbs up for the homie, dog. Salute to my homie Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. And fight fans, I hope my audio is clear. I'm not sure. I'm literally doing this off of Wi-Fi, so if I'm getting some some staticky stuff or whatever, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the homie Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more, man. Hey, Geechee TV, what's up with you, champ? Main man, it's me, Trap House. I'm mad that I didn't get a chance to elaborate how I wanted to. Hey, I mean, I'm coming back through late on the night, Trap House, if you got some time. Feel free to come on through, dog, because I definitely would love to hear your explanation, because I was kind of trying to put some things together about what you were saying, but I don't know if I was on the money or not. You know what I mean? Like, I think that the way that you were going, like, it was almost like you were saying that, that basically Al Heyman's business model and the way that he puts his company together, or the way that his business model is basically toxic to everyone else. It may be good for Al. It may be good for PBC to raise the prices of your fighters to keep them from being plucked off, but it's toxic to all of the networks. I think that's the kind of the route that you were going down. But once again, I don't want to put too much words in your mouth, and I'll sit back and if you got some time later, because I don't think we're gonna have time unfortunately on this stream. But if you got some time later, Trap House, I'll be through here later on this evening. Feel free to come on through and chop it up, champ. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. Okay. DGO says, yo, what's up to my homie DGO 82, man? He says, Tank is not fighting Mateus. Tank is the coochie of the boxing. He isn't fighting no top contenders. I hear you, DGO. I hear you, man. But I just think that we at a point where this kid about to be pushing 30. And we at a point where if I look around the landscape once again, and just the vibrations that I'm getting, looking at this dude, Mateus going to be fighting in November. That's just a good time for him to take a few months off and then come on right back early sometime next year for Gervonta Tank Davis. And on top of that, once again, Ergashev is, and I know this is something that he didn't plan because Ergashev was just a mandatory, but still, Ergashev is a southpaw. Ergashev fought to get this opportunity as well. And his promoter, Dimitri Salita running around here pushing Subriel Mateus like he's some boogeyman. Like nobody wanted to get in the ring with him. They had to go up and down the IBF rankings to find names and so on and so forth. All right, man. I don't see what's so scary about the dude, to be honest with you. He is straight up and down, no special effects. I hear what you're saying, DGO. He's a top contender. He's a champion. Granted, the guy he lost to, he avenged his one and only loss, right? But at the end of the day, bro, I don't see what's so scary about Subriel Mateus. He's a wild man. A bit of a wild man. He walks around with his hands down. You walk around with your hands down up on Gervonta Davis if you want to. He's going to sleep. He don't have a style that I believe that Tank can't handle. You may say, well, he's the bigger guy. But I don't give a fuck about that size. Tank 40 at 40, and he taking knockout power with a 40. We seen it in the Barrios fight. If Tank got knockout power at 40, he gonna put Mateus to sleep. He's too wild. He's too wild. He's too wild, bro. I mean, and like I said, it's the fight to me that checks all boxes. As long as Mateus is successful versus this Ergashev cat, long as he's successful versus him, it checks all boxes. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. Salute to the homie. Hey, my main man, Coach Kennedy, is up in here, man. Salute to your Coach Kennedy, and I hope all is well, man. I hope all is well, champ. Hey, he says, yo, salute, man. My main man Tank stops everybody. I mean, you got proof, bro. I'm not gonna argue with you. You got a lot of proof. Man, got dynamite in them hands, bro. Dynamite. No doubt about it. But is the dynamite there on the top floor? That's always been the golden question. Y'all already know how we get down over here, fight fans. We ain't easily fooled. I know my main man DGO ain't easily fooled. We ain't easily fooled with this lower tier crap. We want to see this go on the top floor. Now he stopped Barrios, right? Stop Leo. Stop Leo. Stop Barrios. He stopped some good names. But you know, there's people can argue against those fights for whatever reason. You know, Leo was too small, Barrios was too big, and he was moving up, whatever. But in the Mateus case, there's nothing there. He's a reigning champion. This is the fight to make right here. This is the fight to make. Because look, Tank get the IBF, Shakur get Loma out the way, Devin do his pro grade thing. These boys are starting to look like the kings for real. Then we can start talking about 3-4 kings and shit like that. We can start really talking about it because now that work is in. And I think that everything that we saying right now are all easy routes for them to go. Like there's no political nothing. And then when it's all said and done, because in my opinion, politically, these fights between Shakur and Devin, they're just not ready. As much as I want them to be ready, they're not ready. Politically, they're not ready. Their promoters don't believe they're big enough. Whatever the case may be, they're not ready. So in the meantime, lay your stories out. Go down your path. You see, my main man, Gary Antoine Russell, has already started his path by eliminating former champions. Go down your path. And then y'all meet at the top. When y'all so big that the networks can't get in the way. The issue with this is all right now is that the only big one in the mix is Tank. He's the biggest one in the mix, so everybody got to go where Tank is at. But once these boys kind of get like him, put that work in and do what they got to do, then that's when the lines start to get blurred. That's when networks say, you know what, we got to sit down and make these youngins fight. Fuck all this. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my homie D-Lo 44 boxing up in here, man. D-Lo, what's up, champ? And I hope all is well, man. He says salute at work, but I am here. Always good to know, my G. Always good to know. He says, yo, man, Frank posted something recently talking about a statement, etc. So we shall see. Anything but Cruz for me. My thing with Tank, with Frank, is that he got there's nothing there for Tank. They're not going to put Tank in there with another, as crazy as this, and I'm just talking plain language. They're not going to put him in there with another slick black fighter that has nothing to offer. That's all risk, no reward. I think Frank may get something on the mid-tier or whatever. They may toss Frank something, but I don't think it's going to be Tank. Not at all. Not at all. He got nothing to offer, bro. Is it a good fight? Sure. But Tank can take that same fight with Mateus and actually get a belt out the shit. I think this is the fight to have, man, to have. D-Lo says, yo, Ergashev got action at winning, but I'm riding with my favorite 140-pounder, Mateus. Yeah, hey, yo, he's a whirlwind, bro. Hey, Slim, yeah, he be throwing them punches in bunches, and he tough. I like his toughness. Tough dude, bro. Gets into that pocket. Wants to exchange back and forth. I like how he approached that Anianian dude, the guy that beat him, because it was like he approached that fight like determined to put that guy down or to beat that guy. The dude that beat, and he put himself in harm's way all night, walked through his punches, gave some, took some. Man, what an action-packed ass fight. You go in there like that versus Tank, and it's gonna be counter all night. Tank gonna take them steps back, and Tank got power on the back foot. He gonna take them steps back, bro, and it's gonna be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's not good for PBC either. Too much stagnation. Yeah, and this is why they need a fight like this to get it going for Tank, especially in comparison with everybody else is doing. Shakur's going after a belt, right? Shakur's going after a belt versus Hector De Los Santos, Devin and Regis. Ryan, whatever Ryan doing, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the fact is that his peers are making moves. This raises the pressure a little bit for Tank, especially with Devin's popularity growing by the day. So I think that Tank needs a Subriel Mateus. to just, at very least, you got the outside of the ring shit. You got the kids. You got all of these fans admiring you. I mean, left and right. What you need now is that in the ring activity. Give us the names. Go down your path. Stop looking for opportunities like fucking crossover fights and Isaac Cruz. Stop looking at that shit, bro. Just because, it makes a couple dollars. What is that going to leave you in the end? Y'all got to get hip, man. Legacy is everything. You need that legacy. All of these events, these events that Tank is in make, he don't get that money. Y'all tripping. If you think that he made 1.2 million pay-per-view buys with Ryan and you think he got even half of that money, then you don't know shit about boxing. And all I'm saying is, fight fans, I know the suits are getting rich off Tank. I know a lot of people around Tank are eating very well. How many bosses does Tank got? Leonard, Al, everybody else under the sun, whoever promotes him. Like, he got a lot of hands in his pocket. The network, all of this shit. Floyd. I'm actually concerned about Tank. I don't want Tank to be some puppet led through boxing, or you're this great big star and you got a couple million in your account. But dog, you are worth so much more. You feeding them suits around you. They look at you as the big meal at PBC. And so I want Tank to have something to fall back on, because God forbid if he loses today or tomorrow, fans will abandon him in droves and say, who did he beat? That's how boxing works. They with you today, they'll be gone tomorrow. And if you ain't got something that people can hold on to and say, well, this is why he gonna bounce back. See, for example, right? You take a fighter like, I don't know, you take a fighter like Canelo, for example. And I know you may say, man, Canelo is the biggest name in the sport, yada, yada. But you take a Canelo. Canelo can lose to a guy. And his people going to be right there lockstep, because they know that Canelo did so much prior to that loss that it's like, yo, we know he good. We know he this. We know he that. We can go back and say he beat Austin Trout. We can go back and say that he beat fucking, you know what I'm saying, Triple G. We can go back and say that he beat the Smith brothers. You know what I'm saying? He went back, he got names to say, oh, well, I might have lost this when I beat Daniel Jacobs. And so they hang with him because it's like, bro, you got a legacy, and we know, hell, it just could have been a bad night. But if Tank loses today or tomorrow, the Haney fans are going to drown him in criticism. The Shakur fans are going to drown him in criticism. People ain't going to have nothing to look back and say, well, yeah, you know, and some of his people going to eventually start to be convinced. It's that easy to do when you don't have a super strong legacy. It's that easy to do. So I'm going to get Ghost Fight fans. I'm going to get on up out of here, man. Look like my people's coming on out, man. Besides, man, y'all, it's like a lot of y'all ain't hearing me right now, bro. So I'm going to go ahead and step it on out, man. And this is just how I see. So just keep in mind, fight fans, before I do end this, I just want to tell y'all, bro, the word on the curb, the word around the campfire is that this is the fight to be looking forward to. Right now, everything else is just all fluff. You ain't got to believe it. I'm telling you right now. You can say, man, I don't believe it. I think this is going to happen. I'm cool with that. I'm super cool with that. But I'll be here in a few months telling you I told you so. Y'all have a blessed day out there, everybody. I catch up with y'all a little later on this evening. You know what I'm saying? You're better off making Tank coming forward, says Geechee TV. Probably so, but the way that Mateus fights, bro, I don't see much Tank. I mean, he can. I mean, it's gonna be a meeting in the middle of the ring, But the way that Mateus fights, all Tank got to do is take the step back and prepare for the counter shot. And Tank got one shot power. So when you got that kind of power, bro, you play to your strengths. And he's going to come in throwing a lot of punches, and he will love to be aggressive versus Gervonta Davis. And I think that Tank can take that step back, and I think he can deliver the hard shot. Yes, sir. You say that following Tank around will eventually have you go to sleep. That's facts. But that's why he will be chosen. Stylistically, bro, it makes sense for Tank. You know how this go. You know how the matchmakers do. They're going to look at all of that, man. Oh, what kind of way he fighting? Oh, who he fighting? They're going to look at all of that shit, bro. And the way that Mateus fights is tailor-made for Gervonta Davis. Tailor-made. It can produce a knockout, I think. You feel me? Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. Tank is not in the game for legacy, says DGO. Well, I mean, he's still young, so he got time to make up. He got plenty more fights in his future to actually get that legacy box check. I think I ain't gonna be premature and judge it right now. It's too premature. It's too early to sit back and say, yo, man, he ain't do this and he ain't do that. Yo, or he don't fight for legacy. Because if he turn around in his next 2 or 3 fights be championship level fights, then we'll be sitting around looking crazy. He's still young. I get it. He pushing 30, but he ain't quite there yet. Give him some time, man. Give him some time. Tank is manufactured, and he has no soul of a champion. Damn, DGO, you going in. Hey, Shawty, you going in, bro. I can't say he was manufactured. I mean, look, I ain't going to say he was manufactured. That's too far. That's too far. Get a kid a time to see how his career pans out. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that, bro. I can't say that. Look at the Cannabis Network. What up with you, man? He said, yo, man, Tank is capped. Hey, man. Hey, give it time, bro. I'm telling you. And see, this is the type of criticism that will turn around with the Mateus fight. Because nobody will have nothing left to say about Gervonta Davis. He beat Subriel Mateus. You can't say nothing. You can't say a word. It's the same way with Shakur. I'm gonna say win, because I think it's gonna be just a win. When he beats Vasil Lomachenko, no one's gonna be able to say nothing, because he's gonna have everything needed. I moved through classes. I beat the best names at the class. He's gonna have everything that's needed. He said, your man is just, hey, manufactured. Damn, I never heard that one, man. Well, look, if that's the case, you better give Floyd Mayweather a hell of a lot of credit, man. And like my man Jay-Z said many years ago, they saying people may hold, then make another hold. Let's see. Let's see Floyd make another Tank, which I think he could do. I mean, look at the momentum that Camille Moten is already getting, man. But Tank gonna have to swim. And at this point, perhaps swim without a Floyd. He still kind of belongs to Leonard Ellaby. The public answer is he doesn't, but the private answer is he does. Damn, homie, you come over here with the leaf blower though, for real. But yeah, fam, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Yes, sir. Hey, man, Gary Antoine said that he has Teo beating Tank also. LOL. Well, if anybody would know, it would be Gary Antoine, because he's been in the ring with these dudes behind the scenes. He sparred most of these guys. So if anybody can give a good measure on something like that, it would be a Gary Antoine Russell. Like I always say, bro, Tank Davis became as sharp as he is fucking with the Russells. A lot of his B-more fan base don't seem to understand that, and I get it, but it's the truth. Why do you think that Gervonta Davis, as much as he could take the opportunities to diss the Russells and so on, he never do. He never do. He may find some bailout answer like, oh man, he's injured, bro. Why would I fight him? Or they're small, or you know, why he talking bad about me? He may say something to that effect, but you will never hear him like really talk shit to the Russells, because dog, they helped lay his foundation. That's something just a lot of folks just don't want to give credit to. They helped make Gervonta Davis. Iron sharpens iron. So I believe so. I mean, maybe so. I don't think that Teo's in the runnings though for that fight. Absolutely not. I think Bob Arum is, bro, y'all gotta understand. I mean, Bob would do a Teo and Tank. I do believe he'll, but I don't think that Teo is in Bob's most favorite position right now. Teo's kind of like rogue right now. If y'all really listen to Teo and the stuff that he's saying, he's really rogue, bro. And I don't think that he's going to be rewarded from Heyman. I mean, from Bob Arum for that. Truth be told, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. You know, money talks in situations like that, but I don't think it's going to be Teo. I don't think the fight's big enough to do a crossover of that magnitude. Maybe unless Teo can find his way out of a contract and maybe somehow ends up over there with PBC. But to do a crossover of that style for ESPN and whoever Tank is going to be fighting to come together like that, that fight got to be big, bro. That fight got to be big. And I honestly don't think that that fight is big enough. I just think it's a bunch of clout chasing going on, bro. Just names being attached to each other to ride out the rest of the year until they're prepared to come back and fight next year. It's a really good media strategy. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I think is going on right now. D-Lo says, if Shakur gets past Edwin, MFers need to shut up, man. Yeah, but he ain't. I would give him credit for it. I think the Edwin De Los Santos fight is cracking, but they're not. He's not going to get it. You know how I go in this boxing shit, bro. It got to be like a sexy name, bro. It got to be some known guy, you know what I mean, that a lot of people are invested in and shit. And other than that, bro, you're going to have people, oh, it was boring. Oh, he didn't have no power. Oh, he looked vulnerable. Oh, his defense wasn't this. His legs are leaving. He's too young. It's going to be something. It's going to be something. In the end, it's going to be Gary Antoine Russell, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Shakur Stevenson being the last one standing, in my opinion. Geechee says, yo, man, I don't think that's happening no time soon. Which one you talking about? I don't think that Tank versus the other supposed big names is happening no time soon. Bro, at the end of the day, PBC is not gonna let their cash cow go nowhere. It's as simple as that. Maybe we could talk about other fighters, but in Tank's case, they did not make that to send him somewhere else. They did not make that no, you're gonna have to go until I see somebody going towards Tank. It ain't gonna happen. Shakur and Devin's name are just not big enough. They're not big enough. Teo's name is that big? I would think so, but I just don't think so, bro. I just think he's on Bob Arum's shit list, bro. I think he's on his shit list. Oh, you saying Teo? You don't think Teo and Tank is happening? Yeah, me too. I'm the same way, bro. I don't think that's happening either. I just don't think that anything right now involving all of this crossover stuff with Tank, I don't think none of that's happening right now, especially with so much uncertainty happening. And I think that the Subriel Mateus fight, once again, it makes sense from a political standpoint, from the position that they are in, and from the type of fight that it is. Keep in mind, you put Tank in it versus a Shakur or versus a Devin, you got a boxer versus the guy that's going to look to lay the bone. I mean, normally that makes for decent fights, yeah, but in this case, is that something that people would crave right now, with the boring tag being put on Devin? Or with some people like the Exotic Pitbull Cruz is getting the supposed repush as it was, mainly because of the action that was involved in that fight. All of that action sits in the Mateus fight. The same reasons that people fell in love with the Pitbull Cruz fight, if you did, will be the exact same reasons that people would love the Subriel Mateus fight. And on top of that, you'll get casuals and diehards pushing that fight at the same damn time. So it is what it is, fight fans. Let me get Ghost, man. Y'all have a blessed day out there, Joe. Hit that thumbs up for the homie, man. I really appreciate you all, man. And salute to you all, man. I hope y'all have a blessed day out there, man. It's beautiful out here in the DMV, Joe. It look like my man's in them setting up my boxes out there, man. So they better put that shit in the back, because I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Hey, look here, man. I'm picking up literally, fight fans, dog food and cat litter. Like, yeah, I got boxes of that shit going into a storage bin, man. But y'all be blessed out there, man. Like I say, man, come on through back a little later on, man, if y'all got a little time, and we'll strike up another conversation, man. But just let me finish with this and close with this. In my opinion, just call it a hunch. Once again, I believe that we get Gervonta Davis versus Subriel Mateus sometime next year, depending on the results of Subriel Mateus versus Ergashev. You know what I mean? Long as Subriel get through that fight, he's a cheap enough opponent. He's action-packed. He comes with a belt. He comes with no political attachments, fight fans. It checks literally all boxes. Tank will get full credit for that fight. In my opinion, that's where we going. Y'all be blessed out there, fight fans. To the next video, man. Bye, Israel.